Doing that review for Joker got me thinking. It really has been a while since I did a movie review. I mean, things just kind of got away from me with work and everything after Avengers Endgame, but I obviously saw movies. I mean, I work in a movie theater, for God's sakes. So I figured I'd write down all the ones that I saw and give you guys a little mini review for each of them. So this video is going to be me doing some mini reviews for the movies that I saw. There might be some spoilers, there might not. I'm not entirely sure. Well, why don't we go ahead and get to talking. Spider-Man Far From Home was a great movie. It's one of the best Spider-Man movies. Like, just that's it. It's one of the best Spider-Man movies. There is a reason that it made over $1 billion. Tom Holland obviously killed it again as Peter Parker. Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job as Mysterio. God, it was just such a great movie. Originally, I was going to do a joint review with Kat and Mateo Potato and his fiancé, but time got away from us all, and it was just not meant to be, I guess. But I still wanted to talk about it, especially with that whole mess with Sony and Disney. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't really care who was to blame for that, as I'm just glad that it got resolved, and everything is fine now for at least a little while. But yeah, Far From Home was absolutely great, and I gotta give it a 9 out of 10. There's definitely a reason I bought it as soon as I could once it came out. Detective Pikachu was a great movie. Honestly, I didn't know what to think about it. Video game movies have such a really bad rap, but Ryan Reynolds made that movie so great. And the CGE for all the Pokemon as well, that was just really well done. Story was really good. I didn't really know what to expect, but I kind of had a feeling that his dad was the Pikachu all along. But just a really well done story. And yeah, just really good. I'm going to give Detective Pikachu a 7 out of 10. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is the third How to Train Your Dragon movie and the only one I've seen. I have not seen the first two. But I saw some bits of it from doing theater checks at my work and listening to the music during the credits for cleaning. It made me want to watch it, and I'm really glad that I did. It's a great movie. It's so spectacularly done. It's well made, well animated, well voice acted. Everything about How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is great. And seeing Toothless with little dragon babies at the end, that was so cute. I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World a 9 out of 10 as well. Okay, let's bring it on down a little bit with something that was a little on the disappointing side. Dark Phoenix. Now, I love where they went to with these last few X-Men movies with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Just the two of them are great actors. But this movie really hit some flaws. Sophie Turner was great as Jean Grey, but this movie didn't do it as well for her character. Like, I was hoping that they'd do something a little different than X-Men The Last Stand, and while they did, apparently this movie was written and directed by one of the writers for The Last Stand. It just feels like that it lost its potential. And also, age them. They look exactly the same as they did in First Class, maybe slightly older, but they do not look like they're supposed to be in their 50s. Anyway, Dark Phoenix, it was alright. It just had a lot of potential that I feel was kind of blown. I'm going to give Dark Phoenix a 5 out of 10. Keeping it up with something that was kind of disappointing, The Lion King. Oh, I feel weird saying this. The Lion King was the more disappointing of the two live-action Disney remakes that came out this year. The Lion King, as the animated movie, that's phenomenal. And they even got James Earl Jones back to play Mufasa. But there's zero emotion on any of the characters. Like, I get that they're going for realism with the animals, but there's no happiness, there's no pain, there's no anything. It's just stone cold stare from a few lions. I thought the casting choices were, for the most part, well done. This is definitely the one that felt like a Disney cash grab. Honestly, I'm going to give Lion King a 4 out of 10. But speaking of the other Disney live-action remake, Aladdin was actually surprisingly well done. I feel like that they did a really decent job with Aladdin. Sure, I was kind of apprehensive at first with Will Smith being the genie, but he did fine. All the actors in this movie did fine, just Jafar didn't seem really intimidating at all. But Aladdin, I think, was just fine. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Keeping it going with Disney now, Toy Story 4 was good. Like, I don't know what you expected. I don't think that we needed a fourth Toy Story, and that was my mentality going into it, but after seeing it, it rounded out Woody's story really well. Didn't know that I needed it, but I guess he did. There's not really a whole lot I can really say about Toy Story 4, so I'll just leave it up to the quote from Larry Hankins himself. It's good, but not orgasm good. And that's the score. Okay, time for some surprising ones. Rambo Last Blood was something I didn't think I wanted to see, but then it came to theaters and I wanted to see it. And having for not seen any of the other Rambo movies, I wasn't really that lost. It was really good seeing everything that Sylvester Stallone was doing in this movie, and knowing that this is standard for Rambo movies, I'm kind of into it. So yeah, Rambo Last Blood was really well done, and I'll give that a 7 out of 10. Keeping up with a surprise hit that I didn't know I wanted to see, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now that was a real shocker, because I wasn't really that interested in Godzilla or Kong Skull Island, but after it being in theaters for a while, I saw it, and yeah, now I'm gonna go watch the other two. I'm really into what they did for King of the Monsters. Ghidorah looked great. Mothra looked beautiful. Rodan looked good, and Godzilla obviously looked fantastic. Even the human characters seemed like they were fine. But just all these awesome monsters, it was really cool. I'm gonna give Godzilla King of the Monsters 7 out of 10, and I can't wait to see Godzilla vs. Kong. One more for the surprise, Hobbs and Shaw. Now again, I'm not really a huge fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, or at least I wasn't. I saw 7 with Kat when we first met, and I thought the ending for that was beautiful and thought they could have ended it there, but they didn't. Not sure why, but here we are. Haven't seen Fast 8. I've seen like parts of other Fast and Furious movies, but Hobbs and Shaw, that was actually really good and really funny. It really knew how to draw me in. I guess I'll just have to take my boss's word for it and take Kat's word for it and give them a try. So Hobbs and Shaw, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Just a couple more now. Lego Movie 2. Now, Lego Movie 2 is coming off the heels of Lego Ninjago, which is by far the most disappointing of these Lego movies. But the Lego Movie 2 brought it back. Was it as good as the first one? No. Was it as good as Lego Batman? That's hard to say. But it was really good, and I would say that's a decent sequel to the first Lego movie. Like, I'm kind of glad that they made it. Lego Movie 2, I will give a 7 out of 10 as well. More Chris Pratt, please, in any role. Alright, last one. It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 was another sequel that I can say safely held up to the first chapter from a few years ago. Kat and I really enjoyed it, and we're not a huge fan of horror, but the way that they did it, it was just really well done. I'm kind of glad that they split it up into 2 parts. There's just so much to tell. With the ending of them making fun of him for just being a clown and getting him to shrivel up into like this weird baby looking thing, it was kind of weird, but sure, I'll go with it. I think It Chapter 2 was really well done, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Lots of positives in here, but some of them teetered on the negative side, but those are the movies that I've seen this year thus far that haven't gotten a review, and I'd love to know your thoughts on any of these movies. Leave comments down below, please. So that's been another video from me, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. I've been 01 Transfan, the #1, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take it easy, guys.